Alright, time for another Sonic figure review. Alright, so let's see here. I've done Tommy, I've done JRS. That leaves us with Resaurus. I could do Toy Island, but I want to finish my army first. The 6 main Sonic toy lines. We have 90s Tommy, which literally nobody talks about anymore. Toy Island, the quirky but unique, which nobody talks about anymore. JRS the best. Everyone I know says JRS manufactures the most quality figures and plushes out there. We have mid to late 2010s Tommy, who failed to make a modern shadow figure in 4 years. Jax. And the coolest company, Resaurus. Resaurus was a toy company founded in 1993 and defunct only 8 years later in 2001. Despite their short lifespan, they made very high quality figures during their time, with their Sonic Adventure line being the most notable. This toy line was simply incredible despite only lasting 2 years. And today, I'll be reviewing the 2 figures I own from the toy line, being Resaurus Tails and Resaurus Amy, and talk about what made these so fantastic. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so the figures themselves. At a first glance, it is abundantly clear what time period these figures were designed from. The sculpt and paint job on these figures are immaculate, especially the sculpt. The figures are so reminiscent of the Sonic Adventure figures by Yuji Iwakawa. I probably butchered his name. Fun fact, this is the revision of the Tails figure, and this is what the original looked like. See? In terms of paint job, I really like the eyes on the characters, along with the color palette. My Amy looks a bit grey in some areas, but that's just because it's a factory reject. The articulation on these figures are really good for their time. I feel like when it comes to the mainline toy companies, they sit on a spectrum, with some valuing personality over articulation, some valuing articulation over personality, and some doing neither. And I think these figures had a perfect balance of articulation and personality. Head spins, torso spins, arms move, hands turn, tail spins, and legs swivel. And with all the character these figures have, it simply makes it the best. Like, yeah sure, this looks better, but bro is just standing there. I look at these, or even Toy Island figures, and believe they have more appeal. You know Toy Island, right? Oh, sorry, I meant Toy Inland. Overall, these figures were amazing for their time, and even now, are a perfect example of how Sonic was represented in the early 2000s. So, should you buy them? Yes. Now, despite me making these look like the second thing closest to Christ, I don't actually care if you buy them or not. But if you have the money, I think you should. Even if you're not a Sonic collector that dick rides companies, they're still a really nice souvenir to own. Especially if you get Sonic, Tails, and or Knuckles. But then again, these old toys cost money, so it's up to you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the review. If this video felt like it was made to tell people that Resaurus made the best Sonic figures and why the other companies didn't, it was. But that's all, so here's the outro screen.